Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig, and this is the show where we review R-rated, for the most part, horror movies from...
Way before I was born till now.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a couple new ones coming out that we can't wait to review, which we did last year with a couple. We did... it went right after it was still in the theater. And,
right. Breaking In is one we're going to have to do soon. Once we get to be able to see it.
VOD style. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about something that just the idea that they made a horror movie about this occupation scares some people away. Because even if you don't mind horror movies, a lot of people hate
The dentist.
Yeah. It's basic story. We'll give.
There's a dentist.
There's a dentist. Catches his
crazy.
wife cheating and snaps.
Yeah. I think he was already on the verge of
Yeah,
snapping
I mean,
anyways.
he was taking medication, but he really snaps when, on his anniversary, he finds his wife and the pool man having fun. Anyway.
And that's dirty.
Before we get into the, as you say, meat and beef of the show.
The meat and beef.
Yes. Oh, quotes for the drinking game. Let's actually, unlike last week, hit that trailer.
Hi there. Is this your first trip to the dentist? You a little scared? No? Good. Give me 5. All right.
Dr. Alan Finestone's a renowned dentist who's got it all.
Happy anniversary.
A beautiful wife, a thriving practice, and an impeccable reputation.
I know I'm early.
Couldn't wait, huh?
No more braces, thank God.
Built up quite a practice, Doctor.
Kay is always busy, so we're always busy.
But behind the success is a man who's feeling the pressure.
The IRS? You got real tax problems. When I tell you to do something, you do it.
We're short-staffed as it is.
Do you dress like that in front of the pool man?
Would you like to make another appointment?
I had an appointment. You're not wearing anything.
Now, Dr. Finestone's gone over the edge.
This is my wife! Please, please. Tonight you pay for all that you've done to me.
Maybe we should close up until things are under control.
Things are under control. Everything is under control.
What we've got here is a seriously derailed train, a man over the edge.
Open wide.
Somebody help him!
Hands high!
The dentist.
There now. Better?
Okay.
Well, that didn't give away everything.
Yeah, and stay mostly in order, so it gives it, as
Everything
you watch it,
away.
you're like, oh, that, and that, and that.
Right.
Anyway, before we give some behind-the-scenes information, of course, now that they've seen the trailer, we do have to,
Give
pay
a
our
shout
bills
out to
by
our
giving
sponsors.
Yeah, these are actual things you can purchase and do, and places to go, and yeah, that. So this week, Gory Storytime is brought to you by Corbin's Oral Care.
Corbin's makes all the products you need to take care of your filthy mouth. Toothpaste, toothbrushes, mouthwash, dental floss, and more. So if you want to prevent the rot of the world from rotting your teeth, look for Corbin's Oral Care products today in your local grocer's toothpaste aisle. And also buy...
And by AAA Pool Cleaners. Our professional pool cleaners will come by and service all your needs. If you're getting hot, If you're getting hot, give us a call and we will get you wet. All of our cleaners are willing to go head first. Oh my, into any job. Would you like them to dive for you? They can do that. So if your husband can't do it for you and you need someone handy with a tool, call AAA Pool Cleaners today. Let our guys work up a sweat so you don't have to. Oh, how nice of them.
Yes. Anyway, so now, as you say,
the meat and beef.
And the beef. Would you like to give a...
No. The real-life serial killer dentist, Glennon Engelman, died in 1999, was the inspiration for the story of the film, of this movie. Corbin Burnson had previously played Engelman in Beyond Suspicion in 1993.
So he played this guy, and then he played a horror movie version of this guy. The budget of the film was so low that when director Brian Usna wasn't satisfied with the cabinets in the set of the Heaven Room or the toys for the children to play with in the waiting room, the producer was not willing to spend any more, so he was forced to give his credit card to the art department, who then went to buy the furnishings. Lucky enough, they could borrow the products they needed, so it didn't cost anything.
Nice. At around 26 minutes, the dead dog was actually a dead stuffed goat. They turned the head so the horns were not visible and put some fake blood on it. This was the first day of shooting, and they could not find a dead look-alike dog.
Okay.
Well,
but they just easily came across a dead goat?
Well, yeah.
An actual dead goat?
Yeah, it was probably Corbin's.
I don't know. There is one deleted scene. The character of Maria was the housekeeper. There's a scene in which she comes to clean the house, finds the pool boy dying out by the pool where Corbin had slashed him. Wow, this isn't in the spoiler section. When he tries to get her help, she is scared by his bloody aspect, falls backwards into the swimming pool, and drowns. The scene was cut from the movie.
Well, there was only one... Yeah, okay. There was only one oversized mouth available for the movie, so they changed out the teeth for the different characters.
So every time you saw a stretched out mouth, that was...
It was just the same one.
There was no money to hire a storyboard artist, so Brian Usna was forced to make storyboards for the movie himself.
This movie was shot in 18 days.
The whole dentist office was constructed to build... It was a constructed set built at Front Street Studios. That was written incorrectly.
It was. Director of photography Dennis Maloney was replaced by Levi Isaacs halfway through shooting.
I think it's Levi, and again, there's bad spelling in here.
Whatever.
Maybe it's Levi, I don't know.
The shooting because of family emergencies.
The oversized mouth for the kid Jody was made in just 2 days by J.M. Logan after they realized they needed one oversized mouth for this shot. So after they gave the fact that they only used one for all of them, then they made a second one for her. Or for him, the kid. Which is weird.
Because
yeah, but they said
his
they
mouth
only
is smaller,
used
though.
I know.
So it's not oversized. It's a regular sized.
But then the fact that was read saying they'd used just the one is not a fact. It is actually fake news.
Fake news. I'm sorry, we're fake news.
This is CNN. What? No.
Yeah, basically. Anthony C. Ferrant, the special makeup effects supervisor. Oh, Ferrante. Okay.
Had to look because I'm like, what?
Right. Kevin
Yeager.
Okay, man, I'm bad. Was a natural for the oversized mouth, from The Crypt Keeper to Chucky, and some work on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He's shown off his amazing talent for bringing life to inanimate objects. He was definitely out of the price range, but thankfully he committed to doing the job as a favor.
The idea to do a horror movie about a dentist came from executive producer Mark Amin.
Okay. The movie was shot the movie was almost not made because the studio was not happy with the script. It took more than a year when the studio finally gave the movie the green light. Ooh. In the first version of the script, the movie takes place in one day. Later events were changed to span more than 2 days. Stuart Gordon was hired later to write a script. The script was later rewritten by Charles Finch.
Okay. Sam Greenman provided the rotted teeth for a couple of Oh, that's yours, huh? I'll read the next one instead. You can read that one after. For the Brooke effect, which is the horrifying aftermath of Feinstein's wife when he had pulled all her teeth out. At least we warn people that there's spoilers. The production needed to hire someone who specializes in character makeup. Steve Johnson's XFX was high on the list, but because of his workload, he wasn't able to work it into his schedule. Luckily, Christopher Allen Nelson, a Johnson alum, who had done a stunning zombie creation for Brian Yuzna's Return of the Living Dead 3, was available and came aboard. Chris had just come off an abusive situation working on the new Tales from the Crypt movie and wanted a chance to prove himself again. The catch with Chris was that he was in the process of moving back to LA from Canada. He would be able to create the effect in Canada and then fly out to apply it. This would require long-distance phone calls and a fickle shipping system that had many of the supplies trapped in customs in transit to him. Dude.
Excuse me.
Your turn.
Sam Greenman, provided the rotten teeth for a couple of fantasy sequences, as well as a severed tongue. Ken Rex, father of Todd Rex, who also helped with the special effects on this movie, handcrafted all the oversized props and Goldfarb jawbreaker device. Goldfarb?
Yeah, and the Goldfarb jawbreaker device. Goldfarb was the name of the guy whose jaw was broken.
Okay.
Thing. Did you watch the movie?
Yes.
Remember the IRS guy? And he's like, pay me less money and I won't report you to the IRS. And then he's like, oh yeah? Snap with the jaw. Yeah, that.
Oh, okay.
That device. Alan Howarth, I don't know, composed the entire score in one weekend. He also did the final mixing and Foley in this movie. Because when I think of this movie, I think of a great score.
Yeah, not at all, actually. It's really loud and annoying. Stuart Gordon was originally set to direct and retains a writing credit before Brian Yuzna?
Yuzna?
Yuzna.
Or Yuzna, something like that. Anyway,
took over.
But the Z is before the N.
I didn't see that. My eyes don't work.
It's because you're not wearing your glasses.
That's better.
Yeah. Anyway, while the film was in the planning stages, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre director Tobe Hooper was developing his own dentist movie with a more science fictional bent. That project never got off the ground, probably because this one did so well. Movie studios really do that. They'll be like, we don't want to make a movie about fill in the blank because they made a movie about it and it bombed.
Whatever.
There was a show.
If you do it
this
better.
Is a true story. Adam Carolla was going to do a show about like real cars. It was a reality show. It was actually one from England that he was going to take over in America. And they basically said, yeah, but they tried rebooting, was it Knight Rider, which is about a car, and it bombed. And he's like, but this isn't a scripted show about a talking car. And they're like, yeah, but people don't want to see car shows. That's how executives work.
Okay. Brian Yesna made a cameo at around 1 hour and 28 minutes. He's the attendant who pushes Dr. Feinstein in the chair at the end of the movie.
The music CD at Dr. Alan Feinstein's office that he's listening to is called Romantic Masterworks.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
The dentist theme, composed by Alan Howarth, was inspired by Richard Wagner's Siegfried's Funeral March. Richard Wagner's music piece was also used in the movie.
And the gun that Alan Feinstein uses is a .380 Walther PPK, which they say in the movie.
In the movie, right. And 4 people died in this movie.
That's true.
That's the body count.
Yes. And
do you have a number for the audience? Because I want to give mine second.
That's not how it usually works.
I know.
Well,
we can break the rules.
We're going to give the Rotten Tomato scores now. For those who don't know how it works, they just take all of the critics that professionally are critics. They figure out, was it a positive or negative review, and then they make that into a 1 to 100. The higher the number, the more positive reviews, basically, is how it works, percentage-wise. So out of 100%, how many critics reviewed it positively would be your number.
Yeah.
But they also do that with the people, and they average positive and negative, and mine is a whopping 29%.
Oh, but I've got one better for you. The critics have it at 0.
Were there really?
Yeah, 0%.
Okay. Well, first of all, they always go lower for horror and comedy. They always do that.
And it's not like there wasn't any reviews in, because they put no score if nobody's reviewed it.
Right. Well, the thing is, people who don't like horror shouldn't review horror, and people who don't like comedy shouldn't review comedy, and those are the two that usually get hit the hardest, unless your movie has a political bent that the
Social
average
commentary.
critic, yes.
Get
For
Out.
example, Get Out was good. It wasn't as good as the score would say it was, but it
97.
earned extra points because it was, very specifically a social justice warrior type thing.
Then explain The Shining.
Which is why it's funny that Mindy Kaling is out there complaining right now that the Ocean's 8 is not doing well. She's like, it's because it's old white men who are reviewers. It's like, really?
No, because it was just a bad movie.
Well, here's the thing. The people have it at a lower score than the critics,
and the people usually have it higher.
For a heist movie is also not true. So you got to figure that actually those old white men gave it a bump so that they wouldn't look sexist and racist and homophobic and whatever the hell everybody is in there.
Right.
No, seriously. Like they made sure to touch on all of that in that movie, and it would probably have done better if they didn't call it Ocean's something and just had it be girls doing a heist. But because they put it in that world, you have to compare it to those other movies, which were better. Well, the first one was.
Ocean's 11?
Ocean's 12 was horrible.
11 was the first one.
I didn't bother watching 13 because I heard it was even worse.
Damn.
Yeah, but anyway.
Well, okay. So.
But that's not the movie we're reviewing.
Yeah, so 20, 29, and I was 0%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So out of all the professional critics
that reviewed this movie,
0 gave it a positive review.
0 said, yeah, watch
now,
this.
If you were to rate it on a scale of... Wait, no, let's not do that. We should do the favorite and least favorite scenes first.
Right.
So what was your favorite scene? We'll start
My
with favorite.
favorite scene was, spoiler alert, when the little girl, I call her little girl, but she was probably like 14,
15.
got away.
Okay.
Basically unscathed. I didn't want her to get hurt. I felt that was wrong.
Like some of the people, you've got the idea that, I get it. Some people, it's like, well, he's got to protect himself.
They were adults, so whatever. But
so they should get murdered?
Well, not that they should, but
you do realize I'm an adult and F you.
Yeah, okay. I get that. But, no, it's just because she was a kid and she didn't need to be dead.
And she didn't do anything as bad as some of the other people that he was getting rid of the rot in society.
Mm.
My favorite scene, I would say, just because it was so awful. Like,
That notes
to
down.
imagine was when the neighbor was having her checkup, and it showed him like using the wrong tool to drill her tooth, and it was basically destroying the tooth, and you saw the tooth get like pulverized, and I was like, it's my favorite because it's so
terrible.
Yeah, like you just watch that and go, oh no, don't. And for a horror movie, that's
And it
a
just
positive.
withered away, kind of like a mint.
Anyway,
Yep.
what was your least favorite?
My least favorite was near the beginning when he shot the dog.
The dog did bite him.
But you don't kill dogs, okay? I've seen too many movies recently.
The
and
dog
watched too
bit
many.
him.
So if a dog bites you, you're just gonna shoot it. You're just gonna shoot a dog if it bites you.
You do realize that they put down dogs for biting people.
I don't agree with shooting a dog, though.
Anyway, unless it's your attack dog and it's defending you, there's no need for the dog to be biting you.
I get that.
And
there was also no need for him to be breaking into their backyard.
He was trying to take out just the one person he blamed the most, and
right, because murder is okay if
say that.
you're breaking into somebody's lawn, and it's okay to kill somebody's dog if you're trying to murder their pool guy.
Anyway,
okay, that's what I thought.
My least favorite part was the way the gums looked on his wife after he plucked her teeth out. Because you could tell that they just had a prosthetic over her teeth that was supposed to look like torn up gums. But it's like, then her gums came down that far, which
isn't real.
It just looked so hokey.
I mean, it could have swallowed a little, but not that much.
It looked like she went like just like some people do and just stuck a retainer, like that color of the retainer, you know, that pinkish.
Yes.
And just was like, and it's like,
she might have.
Great special effects.
She might have, who knows?
Yeah. Anyway, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I know you're not a professional critic.
So it's not a 0.
But on a scale of, well, we go 1 to 10, so.
It can't be 0. I'd have to give it a 7.
7?
Yeah. Just because a lot of the special effects were really bad.
Yes.
And I'm going to blame them for that because there was stuff in the 80s that was better than this.
This was the 90s.
Right.
Okay.
There was stuff before this that did better than
But it was also extremely low budget, and that does have an effect on it.
Right.
Kind of like when we did Tusk and that one shot that you didn't like because the special effect, the digital effect wasn't that realistic, but he was also doing it on a shoestring budget. So he did the best he could, considering how the rest of it came out, you know?
Right.
But anyway, I'm going to probably go a little lower. I'm going to say a 6. The story had some big holes in it for me. But I also like the idea. I'm going to say 6.5. I'll give it a little extra because I like the idea of it being a dentist because they picked
something that everybody's already.
So many people are like not necessarily all afraid of, but no one's like excited to go to the dentist except for
the girl who wanted to get her braces off.
Except for Bill Murray in Little Shop of Horrors.
Him too.
He's the only guy I know that was like, yay, the dentist. Under every circumstance. Hopefully for root canals. He was a creep. Anyway, so is there anything else you have to say about this movie before we start?
No, we have to wrap up.
Yeah, so.
The stuff on the screen.
Yeah, or remember things.
Yes, this side. Okay, Fact TV, Channel 8. Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m. You can watch the show.
There we go.
Or now.
Do it as a sentence.
Or now. You can watch the show.
You can email us at gorystorytime@yahoo.com. Give us ideas for movies, questions, complaints, etc., etc.
You can like us on Facebook.
Just search for Gory Storytime.
Yep, you can like Gory Storytime on Facebook. You can like Fact TV on Facebook. You can go to their website, watch a bunch of back episodes. That's fact8.com. You can watch a bunch of back episodes and other shows they have on the station. That's it. Our Twitters.
Yep.
I'm Jason T. Jakes, capital J, capital T, capital J.
And I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase. We don't talk about the show, really. I haven't tweeted in a while.
I tweeted yesterday, but that's to make fun of dumb people.
Yeah.
So.
That was from an old video from the last administration, but it was a hashtag involved in a video.
Yep.
But that's pretty much it for Gory Storytime this week.
So, until next time, I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig.
And sweet dreams.